Hey guys, what is going on? LegoMan123 are back with another video, and today in this video I'll be doing something a little bit different, as you could probably tell by the title, because I'll be counting down my top 10 favorite Avatar The Last Airbender moments, so I'm really excited to be doing that. But before I go any further, I just want to say a major spoiler warning to this video, because I'll be spoiling most of the moments in my top 10 list from Avatar The Last Airbender, and if you're interested in watching the show, then I wouldn't recommend this, because as I did say, I'll be spoiling most of the moments in my top 10 list. You're more than happy to just go through the video and just see what my top 10 moments are without hearing all the information and all that. So without further ado, let's get into it. At number 10, we have Zuko vs. Katara, and this happened in, I believe, the Siege on the Northern Water Tribe Part 1 or Part 2, and this was in this sort of spiritual landscape area in the Northern Water Tribe, because Aang needed an area sort of to meditate so he could enter the spirit world, and Katara was like his bodyguard just in case someone tried to grab him, because while he's in this sort of spiritual state, he can't actually come back out of it quickly, so if someone grabs him, he's not gonna notice. So I really like how Katara did protect him, and then Zuko did come, and their battle was really interesting because they both have a very similar sort of skill and age. While they were fighting, they did some really nice moves, like Katara at the start of the season, she could only do sort of basic stuff with water, but by the end of season 1, she could do some really nice stuff. So it was really interesting to see that battle happen. But then Zuko did get the upper hand because he used the smoke coming out of his nose, which he learned from his uncle Iroh, so he could actually get out of this sort of ice block area. So that was really cool to see. But then Katara did get the upper hand once the moon spirit came back and all that, so that was really interesting to see. At number 9, we have the Amber Island players, and this was the second last episode to season 3, and I thought this was a really interesting episode because we got to see Team Avatar go to a theater and essentially just watch themselves experience the same things they did through book 1, 2, and 3, but in a bit more of a sort of a comedic sort of idea, because each of the characters, the Amber Island players, were more sort of dramatic and all that. So I really did like that, and they took things throughout the different books they did go through sort of more funny and sort of not as serious as the actual Team Avatar did. So I thought that was really interesting, and my favorite part would probably be sort of the reactions Team Avatar actually got to some of the scenes they actually did, because they were all sort of serious and that didn't happen, they were shocked and all that. So I thought it was really interesting to actually see their sort of facial expressions to that. And I also like the idea that they didn't actually stop at book 2, because there was only another episode to go, and I really like how they did include that with the Fire Lord Ozai versus Aang, and how Aang's reaction was when the actor for Aang actually sort of died. So that was really interesting to see that happen. At number 8, we have Aang vs. Azula. Now, I thought this was a really interesting battle because both Azula and Aang were on this moving drill, and boulders were coming down from the earthbenders on the Ba Sing Seng wall, so they had to dodge that and then also dodge each other while also balancing on a moving drill. So a lot was definitely in this battle, and I really did enjoy it because Azula is a bit more stronger and a better fighter than Zuko, so it was really interesting to see how Aang did cope with this, because he can easily defeat Zuko in a battle, but then to see him go against Azula, it was really interesting for Aang to actually go through that. And then I also liked how Aang used the wall for him, so he could get a bit more of a run up and use his air scooter to then smack down on the drill. So that was really interesting how he actually used the wall. So I really did enjoy the battle. At number 7, we have Aang and Katara versus Azula and Zuko. Now, I thought this was a really interesting battle because we also had the Dai Li agents who were actually working for Azula actually joining the battle. So that was a lot more for Katara and Aang to actually handle, and it did raise the stakes for them. So I thought that was really interesting. I must say, for this battle, there was a lot of great movement because it was a two-way rematch, because we had Aang and Azula. They had a little rematch, and then we also had Zuko and Katara for a rematch. So I thought that was really interesting. And then I also liked the whole whip idea with the fire and water one, and then like how Katara was talking to Zuko. So I thought that was really interesting. And then we had this climactic part at the start, just before the start of the battle. We had like Zuko turn on his sister, and I thought he was gonna like shoot her. So that was really cool if it did happen. But then he did go over to Aang like in his sort of firebending stance and then shoot him. So that was really climactic to actually see him almost change to the good side, but then he did go back to the bad side. And then the sort of final part to the battle was Aang did something pretty sort of important. He did go back into the Avatar state, and he did sacrifice himself to actually save Katara, and because that was the most sort of important thing he could do, because both Aang and Katara couldn't actually take everyone, including the Dai Li agents, Zuko and Azula, by themselves. So Aang had to go back into the Avatar state so he could actually defeat them more easily. But then he did get shot by Azula, so that was really climactic to see, and quite a shock, because if we go back a couple of episodes, we do learn that if you're in the Avatar state and you get like killed in that state, you can't actually have another avatar after that. So that was really interesting to see, because once you see Aang get shot by the lightning, we're all like shocked and surprised, because from the previous seasons, as I did say, we learned that once you get shot or killed in the avatar state, you can't come back or have more avatars. So that was very climactic to see. And then I liked how at the end we had Iroh actually help Team Avatar, so like Katara could get Aang out of there and like heal him up. So that was really just climactic and just really kind of Iroh to do that. At number 6, we have Iroh confronts Zuko in Ba Sing Se, and this was when the Blue Spirit, who was Zuko, went underground to actually rescue Appa so then he could actually lure Aang in, and this was where the Dai Li agents and Li Fang were actually keeping Appa because they knew of him and all that. So I thought that was really interesting how like he was in this, well, Appa was in this sort of underground area, and then Iroh does follow Zuko in, and they have this whole conversation about destiny and all that. I really did enjoy it, like how Iroh was being really serious and not disappointed, but just angry of the actions Zuko has done in the past. And I thought it was really cool how Iroh actually spoke up, because usually Iroh's serious to Zuko, but not as serious as he was in this scene. He's also quite funny in scenes, but he was deadly serious, like with the whole destinies thing, you choose your own destiny. I really did like that whole conversation with them, and like how you choose your destiny, as I did say. I thought it was a really cool conversation between these two, and it did shape the rest of Zuko's sort of choices and then his life, because he did choose to go with Team Avatar. So I really did like that idea. At number 5, we have Aang and Katara dance, and this is while they were in a cave, because they were disguised as Fire Nation people while collecting information in Season 3, and while Aang was attending a school so he could actually get information. I really like the whole dance idea, because Aang had this party in this cave for the school students he did meet and befriend, because at the Fire Nation schools, you're not allowed to do much because it is very strict, and there is definitely a lot of rules which are set for the like school. So that was really interesting to see like a bunch of kids sort of dancing around, because they really haven't done it before because they're not actually allowed to. So it was really cool how Aang did actually teach them to be free and all that. And then how Aang did offer Katara to dance was a really sweet moment, and I really did enjoy the amount of sort of dance moves they did, how synchronized they were. It was really interesting to see that. And then at the end, when they actually did get caught by like the headmaster of the Fire Nation school, they did quickly run away from the help of the sort of school friends he did meet and some of the school students. So it was really cool to see that. And then he did like get a kiss from Katara while flying away on Appa. So it really was a nice ending to like that whole sort of romantic idea with their dance and then the kiss to actually end it off. And number 4, we have Aang and Katara kiss in a cave. Now, I thought this was really cool, and it was definitely great to watch because, like, we get to learn through a song called Secret Tunnel in the episode of The Cave of Two Lovers, where these two lovers were a war divided their people, and then also this mountain. So then they did meet up through a secret tunnel so they could actually be together. I thought that was really cool, and the song definitely was really just pretty cool to actually listen to. And then Aang and Katara are actually in there, and they have this torch or like sort of stick on fire with them, and then like they're talking, and then Katara offers the idea of kissing because they are in the cave of two lovers with like this statue behind them, I believe, and like how Aang does say, "I would rather die than kiss you." I thought that was quite sort of offensive, and I like how sort of Katara was pretty upset about that. But then Aang actually did go in for the kiss, and I really did like how as like they leaned into one another, like the light from the fire does like slowly burn out, and then when it's completely pitch black, they do kiss. I thought it was just a really nice scene, and like the music in the background and like the light slowly turning out, it's just really perfect and just a really nice sort of first kiss. And number 3, we have the final battle, and this is Aang vs. Phylorsi. I thought this battle was just incredible. The amount of movement from each of the characters, just the amount of fire coming from Phylorsi from the Sozin's Comet was just incredible. The art design was amazing. I really did enjoy the battle, and I also liked how instead of just having a battle on flat ground, like say just a flat ground made out of rocks, both Aang and Phylorsi were actually battling on different pillars of rock. So it was really interesting to see how they like moved away from one another, how they approached each other, because they're actually not battling on flat ground, which I think is a really cool idea because most battles are actually like that. And then the whole Avatar state was just incredible because we learned that Aang can't actually go back into the Avatar state after he was sort of struck by Azula's lightning, but then from like a really hard push into like a jagged rock from Phylorsi's fire, like he does get sort of back into the Avatar state. He grabs Phylorsi's beard, which is just really cool to see, and like how he basically just smacks Phylorsi's fire basically just up into the air. I thought that was really cool. And then how he does get like fire, water, rock, and air in this really nice sort of circle, and then like fire, water, and rock going sort of around the circle was just pretty cool and just perfect to see. Just seeing all the power Aang does have. And what I like is that Aang has all this power, and you can definitely see the fear from Phylorsi, and like Aang can't do it because he just can't kill someone, which I think is a reasonable idea. I like how he can't do that even with all the power, but then Aang does go for one of the most coolest things pretty much ever. He does energy bending where he can actually take away Phylorsi's ending. I like the whole sort of light and dark sort of color with the red and the blue representing Phylorsi and Aang, and like how you could actually see their faces go red and like their whole body go red and blue to actually represent like the sort of energy particles of them. I thought that was really cool, and like how the camera shake, the music was really cool. It was just a perfect scene to actually watch, and then Aang successfully actually take away Phylorsi's bending. I was just so surprised that could actually happen. I was just really shocked, and it was just incredible to actually see that happen. I really liked how Aang actually did take away his bending instead of actually killing him. And number 2, we have Aang and Katara's final kiss, and this happened at the final few seconds of Avatar The Last Airbender. So it starts off with Aang going outside to like sort of look just at the sunset. I thought that was really cool to see that happen. And then inside of Iroh's tea shop, we have the rest of Team Avatar just sitting there. And then after Sokka does finish the picture of Team Avatar, we have them come over there, and just like criticize it. I thought that was definitely really funny to see. And then we have him actually go, "Oh, you could do better" moment. I thought that was definitely funny to hear. And then when Tough does say, "I think you will look perfect," it was just put a smile on my face, because we all know that she is blind, and I like how she did make the rest of Team Avatar sort of laugh. And then we do have shots back to Aang outside, and behind him we do have Katara. I like how they both come up to each other, and then like this really nice music begins playing. I love the sound of it, and I think it is definitely a really nice sort of tune for both Katara and Aang. And every time I do hear it, I can definitely recognize that tune. And then they do go in for a hug, and this is like with possibly like 10 seconds to go for the final episode of Avatar The Last Airbender. And then they have both rosy cheeks, and then the music gets a little louder, and then they go in for the final kiss, which I think has got to be the most perfect ending to Avatar The Last Airbender. I really did enjoy the kiss as they go sort of into it. I thought it was really nice. And then to finish it off, I just love the scene where the camera does slowly move up into the sky and they do continue kissing. It's just the most perfect ending, and I really did enjoy it with the whole music and like the whole sort of camera idea slowly going up into the sky. And number one, and you're probably wondering what number one is, that is Zuko vs. Azula, Agni Kai, and this has got to be one of the most coolest final battles against siblings I have ever seen, because we really don't get that in movies or even TV shows of siblings versing one another. And the power from Sozin's comment for both Azula and Zuko just adds to this battle, because with like the whole fire strength they have, the amount of power they put into their fire, it's just really cool to see just from far away and close up. And then I really did enjoy how Zuko actually did a bunch of moves from water bending, fire bending, earth bending, and then also air bending. It was really cool to see how he actually did incorporate all those sort of moves from the various bendings to actually verse his sister. I thought that was definitely really cool. And then just the music for this scene was just perfect. It really did match up with like how much strength they put in with the fire. The passion they had for the fire was really cool. I also liked how we got to have red fire and then blue fire. What would have made this scene even more perfect or moment would be like Azula slowly turning back to like just original fire, like the red coloring of a fire, or orange. I thought it would just been really cool. Instead of having like her blue fire for the whole time, it would have been really cool to see her like slowly go down into like the color of fire, which is sort of an orangey red. I thought that would have been just perfect. And then I also liked how he did like say, "No lightning today, sis. Are you afraid I'm gonna redirect it?" I thought that was really cool. And then Azula has like this whole like sort of madness thing with the fire, not the fire, the lightning. I thought that was really cool. And then to have that sort of moment even cooler, like she slowly goes over to Katara, and like the audience, myself, and whoever was watching that scene could like think that like she's gonna kill Katara, and then she does shoot it, and then Zuko does run over to like the lightning and say no. I thought that was really just emotional scene, because we get to see Zuko actually sacrifice himself for Katara, who he was hunting throughout season 1 and 2, and then only in season 3, like in the couple of first episodes, he actually does join Team Avatar and then gains Katara's trust. So it was definitely quite emotional. Actually seeing him sacrifice himself for someone he was hunting for so long, I really did enjoy it. And I thought this was just the perfect battle between a brother and a sister. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video as much as I did making it, and also sharing my thoughts and opinion on my favorite Avatar The Last Airbender moments, because I really did enjoy doing it. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on my favorite Avatar moments, including if you guys have any of your own favorite Avatar moments. I would love to hear that down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this type of video, please tell me down in the comments below, because I do have a couple more ideas for top 10 videos related to Avatar The Last Airbender. So as always guys, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and can I see so goodbye.